All right, let's build on the logic from the last lecture, okay? So we calculated the net present value, right? But what about the free cash flows after that last year into infinity? That's got to be worth something. Well, how do we account for that? Well, that's called the terminal value, okay? And the terminal value calculation is a lot easier than you think. So what you do is this. You need to calculate the terminal value. So you take your interest rate, which is 7%, okay? And then you got to get the long-term growth rate, which we assume is 2%. And don't ever assume that a company can grow more than 1, 2, or 3% into infinity, okay? Look at the US economy, okay? It's a big company. It's 25% of global GDP, but it can't grow more than a couple of percent just because it's big, whatever. So big companies don't grow very much, okay? So long-term growth is usually 1, 2, or best case 3%, but more likely 1 or 2%. Okay, we've got our interest rate, which is 7%. We've got our long-term growth rate, which we assume is 2% here. So the terminal value formula calculation is as follows. You take the last year free cash flow, okay? So that's 1,100.4. You multiply it by 1 plus the long-term growth rate, and then you divide it by interest minus the growth rate, okay? Makes sense? So remember, it's got to be that final year's free cash flow. Again, times 1 plus the growth rate divided by interest minus the long-term growth rate. And you might ask yourself, wait a second, Chris, what if the long-term growth rate is higher than the interest rate? It really can never be, okay? Because interest rates will never stay as low as they are today forever, right? Interest rates are usually a lot higher than what they are today. And long-term growth rate can never be more than a couple percent. All right, so let's do it. We'll take our final year free cash flow, okay? You multiply it by 1 plus the growth rate, that's 2%, divided by the interest rate, minus 2%. So that's divided by 5%. Okay, let's build on this slowly. And wait for it, wait for it. We get our terminal value total of, come on, 22,652. And then there's one little step left, which is you need to discount that $22,652 into today, okay? And you know how to discount already.